we as a people, we are highly spiritual people, right? So I mean, we have spiritual gifts that we have, that we've always used to our advantage. I mean, with our words, we're able to heal, to move things around by just looking at something. You can tell that mountain, or look at that mountain, and it will move. With our thoughts, we're able to move things and make changes and make magic. This is who we are. We can tell the future. We can see the future. You know, we I mean, really, we can prophesy. We can do all these things. We can make things disappear and even appear. So, this has always been our way of life, doing magic. Magic is when you take something that is unseen and to make it visible. Is when you take the impossible and make it possible. You know, like taking a stick and pointing it to a river, and the river part ways. This is who we are, like making rains. Again, we know the Mujaji. They are a tribe of people in the north of South Africa who are rain makers. They're able to do rain using magic, doing their stuff, right? We can walk on water. So there are great things that we can do spiritually. We can take herbs or water to heal people, or to curse, right? You take muti, these herbs, and witchcraft on other people. Well, witchcraft is good and bad. There's bad witchcraft and there's good witchcraft. Like, for example, I mean, okay, let me first define what witchcraft is. Basically, is like being able to change the cause of something. Like it's supposed to go this direction, but when you're able to make it go that way, you understand? Or this is what is supposed to happen, but you make things happen differently. That is witchcraft. For example, let's say you're looking for a job, and then you find this advertised post in the newspapers or wherever, and you're like, this is my job, I want this job. And then you do something, you use water, you use herbs, you speak words, and then you send your CV, and then it lands in the right hands, and then this person looks at the CV and says, okay, I'm going this person for an interview. And then you go to the interview, and you know that you have prepared your stuff again with your mother or your grandmother. Or you went to the traditional healer, the sangoma, and then they gave you something and said, take this, chew it, or put it on your face or something, or in your pockets, and then you go there, and then you get interviewed, and all of a sudden, in that boardroom, they like you. You say stupid things, but still, they give you the job. That's witchcraft. Oh, you can use witchcraft and say, I'm going to choose something, or I'm going to say something, or I'm going to jump over fire or whatever. And then this person goes to the interview. I mean, they are the right person for that job. But because when you've done your thing, right? In that boardroom, they just don't like this person. I'm sorry, in the boardroom. In the boardroom. So now they don't like this person. They're like, yeah, you've got the qualification and everything, but no, let's give this job to this person, right? They give it to you when you don't even qualify for that job. So that's witchcraft, good or bad. So I think you get the understanding, ne? So we were able to do, or we are able to do that. And now we are living under a system that is oppressive, right? So they can't get on. There's something about us, and they're like, but what is it with these people? Even though we're trying so hard to change them, we're trying so hard to make them to be who we want them to be, we're still battling. There is something that they are doing. There's something about them. And then they got to know about our spirituality, and they started studying it, and they realized that, oh, these people, we have to do something about this. And then they passed a law called the Suppression of Witchcraft Act. So what this law basically stated was that if you are into spirituality or if you practice witchcraft, you will be jailed. Now, what was the definition of witchcraft? According to the state, witchcraft was if you do anything that is spiritual, and they call it pretending. So if you were pretending to be spiritual, to do witchcraft, you will be charged. Interesting, isn't it? So basically what they were saying was that if you go to the river and you take water, and you take that water and you heal people with that water, that is witchcraft, and you will go to jail. Number one, they're demonizing our spirituality. Number two, they're saying there's no spirituality because we are all pretending. Contradiction, eh? Yeah. So now people were afraid, to be out there, to even announce to people that I'm a prophet, or I'm a sangoma, I'm a traditional healer, I'm a sanusi, I'm a seer, I'm a shaman. They were afraid. So what they did, they came together, all these people who are gifted, they came together and they formed churches. So they were, like disguising, right? Pretending to be attending church because that was the only platform that was allowed. So Christianity was allowed. And if you were a Christian, you were, you got to get certain privileges. You had an advantage over other people because you're a Christian. So when you renounced your spirituality, then you would be accepted. So people realized that the only way for us to practice, our customs, our traditions, and our rituals is for us to form churches. Because now if you come together as a church, then that was the only gathering that was allowed. So if they find 4 or 5 of you standing there in the streets, you'll be in trouble because they never wanted us to have that opportunity, to organize, to talk what we're going through. So churches were allowed, for gatherings. So all these traditional healers, the sangomas, they came together and started churches like ZCC, Mudise, Shembe, Postola, Kereke Manku. Yeah, all these churches. And they are called African traditional churches. But what ended up happening was that everybody became a Christian because now when you go to these gatherings, you're supposed to have a Bible, you're supposed to Jesus. So that's how we all became Christians, because now it was expected of you, to declare the religion in order for you to be accepted as a South African. So this is how all these traditional churches were started initially, or the intention was not to be Christians. No, it was just to hide from the police, from the system, so that you don't get arrested for practicing your culture, for using your spiritual gifts. So now our culture is being demonized and our spiritual gifts are being demonized. And, for some people, they don't even want to come out to say, you know what, I have a gift, because they know what people are going to say about you. And it is interesting because during the COVID pandemic, a lot of people found solace in traditional medicine, in traditional healers, because, um, they were telling us that you need to go get the jab, and people didn't want it. They said, no, we're not getting it because we don't even know what this is. And some people were saying it's the devil, and some people were saying you're going to die. So people started to use a herb that is called lingana or mhlonyani, and it's found in South Africa and in Madagascar. I'm not sure if the world knows it. There's a, this medical or biological term for it. I don't know what it is. So all of a sudden, everybody was using herbs. They said, if you don't want the jab, take the use these herbs, or if you don't want to get sick, you must use these herbs. And then all of a sudden, we started to embrace our, our gifts and our spirituality. So this is how we got to, go back and remember, who we are and what we are capable of and the things that we know. Now, all of a sudden, we're going to our grandparents and like, what did you use before? Does this work? Because now it was tough. People were dying and we were afraid. We didn't know what was going on. So today, we're still struggling with the very same thing, that if you're spiritually gifted, people start labeling you a witch. People will say, when you are killing people, you are making people sick. So even when people have the gift, it becomes difficult for them to use it because they don't want to be labeled a witch. And in certain areas, in certain parts of this country, witches are burned, and most of the time there's no proof of witchcraft. But because somebody hates you or they're jealous of what you do, and all of a sudden you're a witch, it's complicated. But then I think that we need to start doing our own research and understanding our spirituality, who we are. It is time that we stop listening to what the world is telling us, who we are supposed to be. We are different and it's okay. We are not like them. We have the power to change things. I would challenge you to do your research on the Haitian Revolution. In Haiti, the people, the slaves who were brought to that island, fought the French oppressors using spirituality or witchcraft. Very, very interesting struggle of the people of Haiti. That's how they won the fight, the battle. That's how they won, by using their spirituality. So, Lerona, as a people, we have that power to do that. But we need to understand what it is. We need to bring people in the same room, the traditional healers, the spiritualists, historians, archaeologists. We need to sit in one room and start talking about this, because I believe that that's where our power lies, in our gifts, in the things that we can do that other people can't. We have an unfair advantage. Yeah, we can make things happen by just going deep within you and understanding who you are and not being ashamed of your gift. Because that gift is not only for you, but it's for everybody, to help people, to heal the sick, to fight for those who can't fight for themselves. So our spirituality has been demonized for a long time, and it's about time that we change all this and start to embrace who we are, our culture, our rituals, our customs and traditions that has been passed from one generation to another. Thanks for watching.